I haven't posted something for the last 2 days. I had problem with the communication, but now I think I'm back. I think I'm back. So much has happened, and I think I'm in a better position now to track down what has happened. The Zelensky, Vladimir, president of Ukraine, made an arranged speech addressed the European Union Parliament in regard to the devastating war back in his country. It was a very emotional speech that needs a lot from the West. If NATO cannot help Ukraine with logistics and consulting, then it will never be. This war is devastating. The presidents of a non-European nation requested for your help. You promised to send the weapons, but you didn't. Now he's facing massive intruders from the enemy. That is, originally Russia. He pleaded. You never answered him. You are excusing yourself that if you assist him directly, that is World War III, which is true. Now, who misled him to push for the agenda or the policy of incorporating Ukraine to NATO affiliation and joining European Union? These are the worst enemies of the state of Ukraine. They misled him, and they knew he recently came from a movie-making industry. He was not born a politician. It's his fame in film industry made him the right candidate, a weak candidate that can be manipulated by the people behind the scenes, the business community. Now they have taken over. These are the outcomes of misleading. You cannot underrate Russia just next door. Thinking West will stand with you, and we are not yet a member of the NATO. Now what they are doing is just throwing to you Javelin and Stingers military infrastructure. Your army is scattered, doesn't have any expertise on how to use a westernized military equipment. You have been using the Eastern and Russian-made weapons. How will you utilize effectively the American weapons? This is a shame that has been put on your crown. But you are a brave president. You have said you're not going to leave Ukraine, no matter what. The bombardment that will take place for the next 2-3 days, it will overwhelm the Ukraine soldiers. They'll be overwhelmed. And this is the point. The war is costly, is expensive. Now this war has made Russia to be isolated globally, but there are few affiliations that really want to stand with Russia, like Nicaragua, Venezuela, Cuba, North Korea, China, India, and African countries. They are not intimidated by the theories of the West. What Zelensky should do is to call Moscow and negotiate. Because even if Russia topples his government, West will not come and build that country. Even if they do, it's a debt. Save your country now, lower your ego, because Putin told you right away, don't go to join NATO. Because Putin is at war with America. They want to put nuclear bombs in your country. You did not listen. Zelensky, You're still a young president, and your diplomatic ties are not working. Who is advising you to stay hard? Now the devastation that will take place in your country, you don't process oil, you don't have anything, manufacturing infrastructure is crippled, you are an importer, not a producer. Russia is a producer, not an importer. In case Russia imports something, is raw materials to generate and fuel their industries. What about Ukraine? When they tell you make an application to join European Union got standards. First of all, you have to minimize corruption. You must govern your country in a certain standards they want, and your country is not yet above that bar. So for them to give you an automatic member is a short thought. You can't make an emergency application to join European Union during the time of the war. That's a despair mood. Who is advising the Zelensky on what to do? Because here he has failed. His cabinet is a long cabinet. Go back to Russia, sit down, negotiate, because the infrastructure that is being destroyed is a Ukrainian infrastructure, not Russian. And the West, if it has to build that infrastructure, it must borrow you money, then you have to hike interest rates to pay them back, or you give them favors, like establishing NATO base for the military and allow Americans to put nukes there. These are the things I'm talking about. Ukrainian government, you have failed to underestimate Russia's policy and following the interests of America, which failed in Afghanistan, in Iraq, in Libya, in Vietnam. Whenever it has gone, it has not succeeded. And if there is money or weapon they're giving you, they are fueling what you call ethnic crashes. Because if the weapons they're giving you, according to the statistics, you're saying 68% of the population, they speak Ukrainian languages. 40% they speak Russian languages. So if those weapons falls into the hands of the population, and Russian-speaking people also have the weapons, and there comes ethnic tensions, to divide the country into two like they did for the Berlin, the West Germany and East Germany, because they had misunderstanding on how to go about it after World War II, I see a big problem. You are arming the population to defend itself, and you have got a mouth to open and send delegates to Moscow and resolve this issue without involving the population. Putin doesn't want to fight you. Putin doesn't want to continue bombing your infrastructure. He just wants you to surrender, or to talk to him and say, my big boss, I have stopped to chase the dream of joining European Union. I have shelved the interest of joining NATO. Putin will withdraw the troops from your country, and he will give you funds to rebuild your infrastructure because he needs you. I have spoken about this quite often, time now again. Why are you listening to European Union? Where will they push the weapons to you? Through which direction? Where will that be? Because already Russians, they are 20 miles to the city. 20 miles to the city. This is it. Is it so hard for you, Zelensky? Is it so hard to just abandon your ambition to join European Union? Suspend that for now, for the sake of the country future. Anyway, hit that subscription button, give me some views, and I want to hear your comments. Thank you.